doing very well today. A beautiful day out here in North Carolina. Obviously, where you're at, it's kind of cold though.
Sunny. If it was in Pittsburgh, it wouldn't be sunny. So it's sunny and 33 degrees.
Oh,
Tell
89
me,
here today.
I don't want to hear it. It'll probably be in its 50s, but that'll
Yeah.
be at like 5 o'clock. All right. So our topic today is the healthcare cost trap. Why medical expenses destroy our retirement plans? Why is healthcare one of the biggest threats to retirement?
Well, because it's very unpredictable, expensive, and often not fully covered. One major health event can wipe out years of savings, and it's people are not prepared. I mean, it's like long-term care; they are not prepared for it. Long-term care will affect 70% of all Americans, and see 40% of Americans between the age of 18 and 64 will require long-term care at some point. And then they're on long-term care right now. And like I said, it's 50 to $200,000 a year and goes up by 6% every year. And like we just said, one major health event can wipe out years of savings.
Why do most people underestimate healthcare costs?
Well, one of the big things, they assume insurance will cover everything. I just had a friend of mine needed a back surgery, and I don't know, it's tens of thousands of dollars. Come to find out, his insurance doesn't cover it.
Man.
I mean, what a wake up call for him. But deductibles, co-pays, like I said before, long term care, and out of pocket expenses, they all add up very very fast.
What's the biggest gap in traditional retirement planning when it comes to healthcare?
Well, it's just like everybody I deal with. There's no real strategy, just assumptions. Most plans don't account for how healthcare costs impact taxes, income, and asset depletion. Like we just said in that first question, one major health event can wipe out years of savings.
How can healthcare costs impact taxes in retirement?
Well, if you're putting more money out in retirement accounts to cover expenses, you're increasing your taxable income. Now, this causes a ripple effect across your entire spectrum. Sorry about that.
Yep. What options do people have to better prepare for these costs?
Well, one thing, strategic positioning, using the right vehicles to create tax advantage funding for healthcare and protecting assets from large out of pocket hits, like cash value life insurance, Neil. You have you have a policy that you may have paid thousands of dollars for, but you've got millions of dollars in death benefit that can be used for long-term care completely tax-free. So you're paying for that long-term care for pennies on the dollar. And also, if you don't use it for long-term care, you can it becomes a legacy for your family. But it's all about education. That's all I can say.
What's the risk of doing nothing?
You end up reacting instead of planning. And in healthcare, reacting is always more expensive than preparing. I always tell people there's a cost for doing something and there's a cost for not doing something. But the cost for not doing something is going to be 10 times more or worse.
How does someone know if they're exposed to this risk right now?
Like I said before, if your plan assumes insurance will handle it, you're exposed because it rarely does. There's going to be so much more that's going to be going on down the line.
And you don't charge for your consultations, do you, Alan?
No, I don't. It's all about education. Uh, I've done this for a decade and a half now, and I've never charged for a consultation. But these are financial strategies that people need to know. Not only does it affect them now, but it affects them in the future and also affects their beneficiaries. And you can call me. That's 910-551-1046. Or you can go to my website, which is www.strategicwealthstrategies.com. I have a plethora of information there. I even have a tax calculator for your retirement plan. But you can set up a meeting with me there, or you can email me at strategicwealth, the number 0, at gmail.com.
All right, Alan. Thanks again. That was the strategic